Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Vancouver Rain Draft Glory franchise mode here in MLB The Show 23. So in last episode, we decided to scout out some more prospects for this draft, which is going to be this episode. We also took a look at what our current prospects are doing in AA, and so far it seems to be doing pretty well. Cardenas batting at 280 is fantastic. Very excited to see what he does. He's grown to a 72 now. He was at 71, but he's getting growth across the board, which is great. Garth Howe has also been pretty solid. His whip is a little bit high, and his win-loss ratio isn't great, but he was being used as a relief pitcher for a little bit, but now he's actually our starting pitcher down there in AA, which is great. Steve Schneider's also been fantastic with 18 home runs, which I believe leads the Texas League, which is pretty dope. Also has 59 RBIs and a 257 average. And then a couple of our other prospects that we drafted are doing pretty solid as well. Who else? Fletcher Hoffman's been okay. He's not been great, though. He's kind of the worst prospect we have, so anything from him is great, but I'll take it for now. Maybe he'll get some good development throughout the season still. Ollie Gelman's been kind of struggling a little bit as well, but at least he is developing because he's got that 8 potential. Bill O'Donnell's been actually pretty good. He's batting 265 so far this season down there in AA, so hopefully he continues to get growth since he has that B potential. And I think that was almost it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that was it. I might have missed somebody, but that was basically what our prospects were up to in the last episode. But anyways, we are up here at the draft, obviously looking to add some more good prospects into our team, and hopefully those type of players are players that could play pivotal roles in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 seasons or something like that, whenever we actually start to be competitive. But anyways, we do have a couple comments that I'd like to go over first before we get into making our draft choices. So the first comment is from Alvin Smith III, who says, "You should always have 93 people on the team. You wouldn't have to do so much adjustments throughout the season." So yeah, I had to make a lot of adjustments because I didn't realize how much roster players we actually needed. But he says 93 people, so I'll try and remember that for next season, to always have 93 people between all 3 rosters, which actually I guess makes sense because 26 plus 26 is 52. And yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. It's right around 93, I think, if my math is right, which probably it's not, but I will try and remember that for next season, so that way I don't have to make so many adjustments at the beginning of it. I might honestly just cut out a lot of the contract stuff for the series until we get to the point where we have to re-sign some of these younger guys. The next couple comments are from Nick Bucker Barons OC. The first one says, "Make sure to scout all the top 10 to 15 ranked 18-year-olds every year, because there are occasionally 18-year-olds with 81 overall and 99 potential." So yeah, so when we're scouting, I guess from now on we'll just scout the top 10 to 15 players, and then we'll scout out later rounds after that if we have time. That way we could find out if there's players that we could snag in later rounds and all that type of thing. So I'll try and do that for the next draft. Also, Nick says, "I'd go with the 3rd ranked left field or go with the shortstop. It may seem like a reach, but guys like him go round 1. Keep in mind, teams draft off their rankings, so every team that has scouted him too, have him around 5th like your scout does, or at worst take the 23-year-old, I think he means 21-year-old closer at the draft. It's too strong at reliever / closer to feel like you need to pick a closer at number 3, in my opinion. So Giancarlo Sixto or Norm Novak, whichever is younger, I would pick." So he's basically saying to choose, I think it was Giancarlo Sixto that's the younger of the two. Now, one thing I was kind of concerned about the 2 of those guys is both of them apparently opted out of their medical stuff, but Nick says it's not really much of a problem because they could have just lightly lower durability, so it's not the end of the world. Like, it's not like they're going to be like injured and like end up retiring young in a sense, but they might have a little tiny bit lower of a durability to begin with, which is not bad. So hopefully that is the right call, and hopefully we don't necessarily draft somebody that's injured right out of the gate and it's kind of injury prone, but hopefully if it's a lower durability, it's not by much. The next 2 comments are from It's Dawn. The first one says, "Ozzy needs power training and we can move him to 3rd. His reaction in fielding is elite, but definitely power training with his arm will grow with everyday play." So he wants to move Ozzy Cardenas to 3rd base. I think for now I'm going to leave him as 1st base in AA, but once he gets to the MLB, if we want to, we could probably move him to 3rd base, because Steve Schneider is a 3rd base prospect, but can he play other positions? I don't think so. I don't think he has any other positions. So I might have to see if he works out anywhere else. Like maybe he'll work out as more of a first baseman. I know he doesn't have the arm and the accuracy as much, so a first baseman might be a better spot for him. But we'll have to figure something out with the two of those guys. But for right now, I want obviously Schneider playing in third base and Cardenas as first base. But eventually, the two of them could end up flip-flopping positions. And also, Don says, adjust our lineup. Make sure you got our prospects batting early and often. Our draft this year is looking stacked as well. And let the guys play, develop them. By the end of the season, they'll all be all-stars. So, yeah, I did go ahead and adjust the pitching rotation and stuff like that. So now down in double, Garth is like the first pitcher. I don't think he was before. And in lineup wise, I decided to go ahead and yeah, so Gelman is the leadoff guy like he always was apparently. Cardenas there, Schneider's there, Bill Dahl's there, Hoffman's there, and it's pretty much like that for every single type of pitcher, just because obviously want those guys to hit as much as possible. So. And he was also mentioning how Ozzy needs power training. Well, I decided to give him some power training because obviously that's kind of the most important thing for him, because obviously his arm isn't really that important to develop much more at the moment, but his power is pretty low. So if we could get that power cranked up there to where the contact hitting is, this guy is going to be literally hitting everything. So let's yeah, have him assigned to weight room, and hopefully he can get some home runs in the future, not just be an RBI guy. And then the last and final comment is from We in the House, the Field House. That's an interesting name. It says, definitely go power for Cardenas. Arm doesn't matter too much for first base. So yeah, if we're using Cardenas as a first baseman, it makes more sense obviously to go with the power room and not the arm, because you'll need an arm more if you are going to be like a shortstop or a third baseman. First base, you don't need to throw it as much. So that's why we are going to go with that. And those were the comments I got from last episode, so thank you guys again for those comments. Let's get into this draft. I'm very excited to get into the draft again, but obviously it's also a very scary sequence as well, so this might be a little bit of a longer episode again, because we are going to be doing the entire draft. We're also going to do the contract negotiations, and then we'll take a look at what the AI drafts as well, which should be interesting to see if we end up making the right calls with some of our picks and all that type of thing. So let's advance a few days. And yeah, we'll go to the Saturday. Today's All-Star Futures games. No, I don't really care, even though there's some of our prospects in it. Let's go to the draft and add some prospects to our draft queue. So we'll start adding players. I have like a list of draft queue players that I want to have in a specific order. I'm not going to be necessarily taking this guy at 3, but if I have to, because like say Sixto's off the board and Novak's off the board, I wouldn't mind taking this closer, because he's looking like a beast, to be honest. So I'll take him, add him onto our queue. We'll also add Sixto at number 2, because he's younger than 2, and Novak at number 3. And then pretty much the rest of this doesn't have to be in a specific order, but I will put this in the order of my draft list, because I have like still my spreadsheet that I'm working on, that I'm adding everybody's name to it. So I'll put everybody on in a specific order. Imasa is right there. And then we need Rodriguez, wherever he was. I think he was the relief pitcher, right? Not mistaken. Oh, there he was. Yeah, he was the relief pitcher. I thought so. Bryant McDaniel, he was the catcher. I almost said closer for some reason. Trulio. Where is he? Trulio. Oh, there you are. Ben Trulio, center fielder. Probably not what we're going to be drafting first round, but might be a late round steal. You never know. Brady Crow. And then we need Jimenez, and Perkins is definitely not going to get drafted by us, I think, because he's also injured. So I don't think I'm going to draft that guy, but if I have to, I might have to. Like late, like 6th round or whatever. I don't really care when I draft him, if I do draft him. Where's Perkins? Where did he see it? There he is. Okay, so everybody else will get added after him. So Ronaldo Ramirez will add you. And it will kind of reorganize this a little bit. I didn't have Lake already written down. That's interesting. Lake is actually looking like a beast too, as a closer. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a good closers in this draft. You guys are definitely right about that. So if we have to get stuck with one of those closers early on, so be it. Because we have the 3rd overall pick this year, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I really hope we get something good out of that pick though, because we definitely need to have successful drafts when we're drafting this early on, because or else it's going to be tougher later on when we actually start being a little bit better. Okay, I think that's all good. Let's go to this for a second here. And maybe I won't reorder it. Maybe I'll just leave it the way it is for now because it doesn't really matter about the order. But I think we already know who we're going to be going with. It's going to be probably Sixto. But if for some reason Sixto and Novak go 1 and 2, we'll take Herschel Belanger. If Sixto goes and Belanger and Novak are still there, we'll probably go with Novak because we don't have a shortstop prospect. And even though the closer looks like he's going to be a beast, you never know, he might not be. So yeah, let's get into this draft and see what happens. Oh man, this is going to be interesting. What are we going to get in this draft? I wonder what Pittsburgh and Washington are going to go with. Because usually I feel like always a lot of pitchers go early on. So I feel like Tomlinson and Olivo might randomly just go early on. But you never really know. Because it depends on, I guess, all their scouts. So let's get into this and see the top two, and then we'll make our choice. Hopefully we don't have like a three-way choice between these guys, but I'll probably end up still going with Sixto since he's the youngest of the bunch. Let's actually take a look at these player cards for these three guys, because these guys are potential first-rounders. So Herschel Belanger, yeah, he's going to be pretty damn good in the future, maybe. Like his hits per 9 and all that. But already being 21, obviously he's going to take a little bit. Like he's going to be a bit older once he's actually like up to that 95 probably. But yeah, definitely a really solid closer, which is something you could use. Giancarlo Sixto, maybe in the future going to be a pretty solid power hitter. And then he might be a project. Yeah, he might be a project player. I feel like he's going to be a project player, to be honest. Yeah, which is not great, but I mean that early on with that high of a potential would be great. Yeah, I feel like he's definitely going to be a project type player. Like the draft rank has him as 26, but we might end up taking him at number 3 because our scouts say to take him at 3. And then there's Norm Novak, who could be a beast power-wise. His power versus lefties might already be really good, so if we get stuck with Norm Novak, that's not too bad. Like I said, the only problem is they opted out of their thing, but they are still low injury risk. Actually, Sixto is average injury risk, so Novak might be better in that case, but I don't really know. We'll just see whoever's left out of the bunch, because I feel like one of them at least should go before our pick. But let's see what happens. See this draft, because this is going to be a little bit of a longer episode again. We got the draft, we got those signings, and then we'll got to take a look throughout the entire league to see what happened. And hopefully we had the best draft out of the bunch. Kevin Towers goes first overall, so we scouted him 85%. Our scouts didn't mind him, but he was supposed to probably go like 10th overall, and they take the 9th ranked player at number 1, so they're sold that this guy is the best player in the draft. Interesting. I mean, I don't think it's a bad pick, but still, like, I don't know if it was worth the first overall pick, because there could be better players there, who knows, but I felt like they were going to go with a pitcher. And number 2 is going to be, who is don't recognize the face. Oh, it is Emilio Olivio. Okay, I was feeling that Olivio would go into the top 2. So they do go with 2 starting pitchers to start off with, which means we have a choice between all 3 of our boys. Oh boy. So hopefully we make the right choice here. I don't think I'm going to go with the closer because of his age, even though he is pretty damn good. We could maybe get a closer later on. Like if I get stuck with Lake in a later round, that would be awesome. So if Dennis Lake does not go first round, I'm definitely gonna, I think, grab him in the second round. But with this pick, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Sixto. He's got also 57% interest, so his interest is already the highest out of the 3 of these guys. So it'll be probably the easiest to sign this guy. So Giancarlo Sixto, welcome to Vancouver, and hopefully this is the right pick. I wish I could tell how good he was right out of the gate, but obviously you have to wait until you sign them. So there you go, Giancarlo Sixto, and oh wow, okay, because he's injured, or he opted out. He's in a suit. He wasn't in a suit. Like, what? Why is he in a suit though? Is it because he opted out of his doctor's exam? It must be, because I don't think I've seen them walk up in a suit. It's always, aren't they always in the MLB uniforms? I think so. Oh, him being in a suit kind of scares me. Hopefully he's not actually injured. Like, I mean, if he is injured, at least hopefully it's just a slight durability change, but not too much. Norm Novak goes immediately right after. Oh boy, did we make the wrong choice? Did we make the wrong choice? And then Tomlinson goes. So players are going off our board now. We'll slow go through this first round, I think. Yeah, we'll go through this first round slowly. And in the other rounds, obviously, we'll go a little bit faster. Never scouted out this guy. Don't know how good he is, but he could be a beast. Who knows? But damn. Novak going right afterwards. And then Tomlinson going after that. Actually, we won't go slow through this first round. We'll just come back to it and take a look. So let's sim to our next pick. And Dennis Lake is still there. I think I got to go with Dennis Lake here. I was saying about going with Dennis Lake. So other players that we were looking at, though, Jimenez, who our scouts didn't really like too much, goes to the Angels. McDaniel goes to Seattle. Imasa goes to the Cubs. We'll definitely have to take a look at some of these guys. Brady Crow going to Tampa. Trulio going to Philly. Perkins, the injured guy, going to Houston. Hopefully he's not that good. And that's pretty much it. Also, Kyle goes to Milwaukee. And then in the competitive round balance pick, Albert Rodriguez, the relief pitcher, went, and Herschel Belanger went as a relief pitch, is a competitive round balance pick. So we almost had a chance at Herschel Belanger still too. Wow, the Cubs might have got a really good steal there. Might have. Who knows? I think I gotta go with Dennis Lake now, because he might be the best closer in the draft. There's also Ramirez, who's a shortstop, who might be good, but he's a project. Jay Chu, who we scouted a little bit, is pretty solid, but I think I gotta go with Dennis Lake here. And then Pinheiro might be a really solid shortstop for the future, so I hope that he's available in the third round. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the closer here. Dennis Lake, why not? Hopefully Dennis Lake is pretty good. And his bonus demand is not too high either, so hopefully we can get him in. That would be pretty solid. Let's sim to our next pick in the third round. And okay, we do still have Reynaldo Ramirez. Surprised he slid this much. But 37% interest is not great, but he might have an okay ceiling, like a B prospect at shortstop. I think I'm already going to take him here. Jay Chu run right after our pick. We were looking at Jay Chu. He is the closer as well. Yeah. So I think we made a great choice with Dennis Lake there. Permitted that he's actually a good overall. So I think, yeah, shortstop. And then there's Pinheiro, who's actually shortstop as well. Who do I go with out of a bunch of these two? I'll probably go with Pinheiro since he's got the higher ceiling potentially. So George Pinheiro, hopefully this is an absolute steal here. We'll take him. There you go. He also opted out of his doctor's exam, but hopefully that's nothing. And the only one left on our draft board is Reynaldo Ramirez. Interesting. Hopefully he... actually, we do have the first pick in this third round, so we could take him as well. But do we need two shortstop prospects? I don't really know. But I might as well just take him anyway since we scouted him out a little bit and he might be good. That way we at least get both those prospects. So let's take Reynaldo Ramirez as well. And hopefully one of the two of those guys is actually pretty good. Hopefully they both sign with us too. Because it's okay to have some good depth in our prospect pool, obviously. Our next pick here at 106 in the fourth round. We have to go in completely blind now, which is not great. Let's see. Any 99 potential young guys? William Montero. Is he the next Garth Howe? I might have to take him just because of that chance. Yeah, let's take him. William Montero, you're young. You might have potential. I'll take you. Hopefully one of these guys are going to be an absolute steal again, because that would be dope. Because that one was that Garth Howe pick took me by surprise by like a lot. Like I was not expecting him to be that good at all. 98 at 22 maybe. Any other 99 potential prospects? Because that's where we're going to probably draft from these later rounds. Gary Steiner, left fielder. Why not? 99 potential left fielder. Let's see if you're good. And in our last pick of the draft, any other 99 potential guys left or high up potential? Oh, there's a couple ones. A catcher in Chris De Jesus or De Jesus, and then there's a 2B. I think I'm gonna go with the catcher. Yeah, let's go with the catcher. Why not? Probably not gonna be that great, but who knows? So there is our draft. I don't think it was a bad draft. I hope it wasn't a bad draft. Let's advance a few days and get to the contract negotiations. We don't really care about the All-Star Game stuff right now because it's players that don't matter too much. Let's see. 99 potential guys left or high up potential. Oh, there's a couple ones. A catcher in Chris De Jesus or De Jesus, and then there's a 2B. I think I'm gonna go with the catcher. Yeah, let's go with the catcher. Why not? Probably not gonna be that great, but who knows? So there is our draft. I don't think it was a bad draft. I hope it wasn't a bad draft. Let's advance a few days and get to the contract negotiations. We don't really care about the All-Star Game stuff right now because it's players that don't matter too much. Let's go auto on that. Yeah. Just gotta make sure I'm pressing the right buttons here, not accidentally calling up players or something like that. And we should be at the contract negotiation soon. Yeah, we should be at the contract negotiation soon. Yes, let's stop the simulation. Get rid of these notifications. And yeah, hopefully we had a good draft ahead of us, or behind us now. Let's go sign draft picks. Number one priority obviously is going to be our first rounder, which is going to be Sixto. And then I'm going to say Dennis Lake is definitely up there as well. And then we could put Pinheiro on there, but yeah, I'd probably put Pinheiro on there since he was also a second rounder. Yeah, we'll put Pinheiro on there as well and get these guys interest a little bit higher, but they're pretty high up interest wise already, which is good, but we just got to get it a little bit higher just to make sure we could sign these guys, especially our first overall pick, or not first overall pick, but first pick we had. I really hope we made the right call with Sixto, because if the other guy that went afterwards, that shortstop went, I should have probably went with him. I feel like I probably should have went with him, but who knows. 60% already on Sixto is good. Let's advance a few more days just to get these guys as close to 60s each as possible, because these guys are the most important pieces from this draft probably. Okay, I think I'm going to remove a couple. Let's move Lake to number 1, Pinheiro to number 2, and let's remove Sixto and get some guys like Ramirez and whatnot. Actually, Montero, maybe. Who do I want to go with here? Probably that shortstop that we drafted. There's only Ramirez listed, so the other shortstop, I don't know if he's not eligible to get signed yet, or he automatically got signed. So, who do I want to put here, though? Get that 37% interest. Yeah, I should probably get that 37% interest up a little bit higher. Oh, no, yeah, Pinheiro was the other shortstop, right? Or did we draft 3 shortstops in this draft? No, it was Pinheiro. That was the other one. Yeah, 75 and 76. Okay. I was confused for a second. I was confused. Okay, let's go another 3 days. Auto. Don't care about that too much. Auto on that. It's not a prospect we care about. So Lake, yeah, we're almost getting him up there. That's good. I should probably swap Ramirez and Pinheiro. Right now, Pinheiro's looking still pretty solid, which is good. Let's move him to number 2, just so they could get scouted out a little bit evenly. We have still 12 days till the signing day. I hope we made the right call. I feel like we might have made an iffy call with that shortstop guy that went 4th, but who knows? We might have got the right one. And wow, Dennis Lake is looking still like a really good closer. I hope he is that good of a closer, because that would be a great pick for that second round. Yeah, these guys are all looking pretty solid so far. Do I want to put anybody else onto this list instead? Let's remove Pinheiro. We got Montero. Yeah, I should maybe add Montero to this list. Yeah, just in case Montero's actually that good of a starting pitcher. We did not scout him at all, so. There we go, another few days. 53% interest now. Wow, that jumped up a decent amount. He's looking still decent for now. We'll have 6 more days, so we're getting close to that signing period day. And then we got to find out what we got, and then hopefully we also find out that we made the right call with that pick, because I don't know, I feel a little bit skeptical about it, but who knows? Maybe we made the right call. 54% on Montero now. That's good. That's good. We'll remove him. He looks like he might actually be okay with a prospect in terms of potential. We'll move Reynaldo Ramirez to number 1. We'll move Lake back there, and we'll put Sixto in for the final little bit. Lake is probably going to be the one that easily signs, I hope, with us, but who knows? I've seen rejections where it's ridiculous how much percentage is interested still. Yeah, let's stop the sim. And yeah, we're almost right on the signing deadline day. Here we go. This is the day, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this I think is the day. Yep, this is the day. We need to sign these guys. We need to do some math, which means I need to pull open my calculator, see if we have enough money to sign all these guys. I feel like we do, because the bonus allotment demand on Sixto is not that bad. It's 3.8. Hopefully we can get these guys all, because if we could get all these prospects and they're all really solid, I will be pretty happy with that. So 13.39. Damn, my phone is blowing up right now. Well, not blowing up, but it's making a lot of noise. Okay, so 13.399, 39 minus, let's see what we got to offer to Sixto. Obviously, we'll do max probably on, actually, maybe not max on him. I want that interest probably at the 75% range, but that takes away half of our money, which is kind of crazy. Oh yeah, we should be able to easily get Lake on a... Let's give Lake max, just to maximize our chances. Come on, Dennis Lake. Yeah, let's go. Dennis Lake is in. We're rocking that beard. Hopefully he's that good of a closer. There we go. Gave Lake a max contract with that bonus thing. Let me add another guy to this list. Pinheiro. Ramirez isn't looking as good anymore, but he still looks solid. And then there's Pinheiro, who's fully scouted out, who could be good too. So I'm going to probably sign both of them. But obviously Sixto, we need to give you a good amount. Wow, we're going to be pretty low in the bonus allotment after signing him. I don't want to give him the lowest amount. Suggested slot value is at 7.59, which is the max. Oh boy. These other guys aren't going to be too expensive, right? Yeah, these other guys might not be that expensive, so I might be able to give a good amount here. Let's do 7.02, I think. Or let's go max on him. I got to go max on Sixto, because if he's not good, or if he is good, and we lose out on him, that would not be good. So max on Sixto, and he has signed. Perfect. I had to do it. I'm not losing our first pick. The rest of these guys probably, like, yeah, I feel like we're not going to be able to get some of these guys at all, but oh well. But we got to prioritize these two guys. Who else do we got to prioritize? I'd say Montero probably, and then these other guys not as much. So we'll put Montero onto this list. Should be able to get these all, I think, with the remaining money. 859, yeah, you should be able to do this. Oh, you dick. Ronaldo Ramirez rejects. That's not good. That's not good. That's a massive one that we might have lost out on there. Hopefully Pinheiro accepts at max. 71% interest, please, Pinheiro. Yes, okay, well, at least we got one of the shortstops, but the other one did not want to sign. And Montero. We have enough to give him max, too. He doesn't have a whole lot of interest, so it's a bit of a risk here. Come on, William. There you go. Okay, we got him, too. Now we have still these two guys as well. And we have 721,000 of allotment money. So I should be able to get both these guys almost. Let's get this up to 50% interest at least. Yeah, let's get this to 50% interest on Steiner. Come on, Gary. Hey, there you go. Gary is accepted. Hopefully Gary was a steal. And the remaining money is going to go to one Chris De Jesus. And he declines too. So we lose two guys, unfortunately. But one of them was a kind of an early pick. The other one was a late pick. But at least we got one of those shortstops in signed. And now we got to find out how good of a draft we actually had. Which hopefully it was a solid draft for this team. Let's advance a few days and then we should be able to find out. Yep, now we can find out. We got to get rid of these notifications here first. Because they're kind of annoying. Okay. How good of a draft do we have? Let's quickly go to this. And boom. Let's go! Oh my goodness. Yo, we just got the best player probably in the draft. I feel like if he has 99 potential. We made the right call with Sixto. 75 overall at 18. This guy's literally pretty much MLB ready almost at this stage as a left fielder. Wow. Was not expecting him to be that high of an overall out of the draft, to be honest. I was expecting more of like a 50 something, and like he looked like he could have been a project player, but he wasn't. Like his reaction speed, stealing, and stuff like that is already pretty good. Actually, his stealing not so much, but his reaction and speed is pretty good. His fielding is really good. What else we got here? Discipline's pretty damn good, which is a good thing. Power versus righties are good. And his contact's already pretty solid, and power versus lefties is pretty solid. Like, he's pretty balanced. His weakness is definitely his arm accuracy and his arm, but that's kind of important for left fielders. So I don't know if we should focus on that for his training next year. But wow, that was a slam dunk of a pick. Let's go, Giancarlo. Our next pick, Dennis Lake. Let's go. We are killing it in these drafts. Dennis Lake, 66 overall, 8 potential as well. And he was a second round pick. That's fantastic. I took him right at the right time. That arm is nasty. That is a nasty arm. 88. Jeez. And his hits per 9 obviously is going to be up there since he's a closer. K's a 9 obviously not going to be super up there because also he's a closer. Stamina not super high because he's a closer, but looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And his durability is pretty good. Cannot hit the ball, unfortunately. I was hoping that he would be one of those guys that could just randomly hit, but no. But yeah, Dennis Lake, fantastic. Hopefully high up potential as well with that A potential. Next pick, man, we are killing this draft. I don't know how I'm doing so good with these drafting because literally, like, maybe it's just the scouting staff. Like, you just have to have good scouts and you literally could easily get good players in these drafts. I don't know. Or the AI is just completely dumb. It doesn't take good players. But George Pinheiro, A potential at 18, 53 overall. He's already got solid contact hitting, but he's definitely more of a project guy as well. But he's a shortstop. I am really happy we got him. I don't know how good the other shortstop was that we could have got. But I think that was a good pick. Has, yeah, good speed as well. Or solid speed. What about our next pick? Montero, also A potential. Man, did I get an A in every single pick? Because if I did, that'd be fantastic. This guy was a guy I didn't even scout at all. This was another random shot in the dark, but he was only 50 overall, so he's not as good as Garth Howe. But A potential still. And yeah, we are literally killing this draft, like straight A's so far. Like, this is definitely better than my report card in high school. Last pick of our draft, we had Steiner. Oh my goodness. How? How? I do not know how I got this lucky in this draft. This was our last pick, right? Yeah, we literally had A's in every single pick. Have you guys ever been that good in a draft before? Because I honestly have never been that good in a draft. Steiner looks pretty solid. Contact hitting is pretty good. Stealing is really good, and speed too, so not too bad. What a draft. Look at the potentials on all these boys. 98 potential for Sixto. Geez, yeah, he's going to be insane as a left fielder. So the only problem is Steiner's also left fielder, but we have a lot of good outfielding prospects in these first two drafts. And Dennis Lake's got 93 potential. Pinheiro's got 90 potential. Same with Montero. And Steiner's got 93 as well. But these guys are all 18 and 19 years old. So, wow, what a draft for us. I literally look like the best drafting player ever. This must be the best draft I think I've seen so far. I don't know. Like, Tugi's going to be jealous of this. Holy crap. Okay. Well, that was our draft. How about the other teams? We'll go through this a little bit fast, but we'll take a look at players that we were looking at before just to kind of make a comparison and see if we made the right calls on some of these guys. McDaniel was okay. Not super high, but he was one of the guys we were looking at. Let's just scroll through this a little bit so you guys can at least see a little bit of it. What else we got here? None of these guys I don't think I scouted out. Santiago, I think I remember that guy. I could be wrong, because I do remember saying Santiago, but wow. I was not expecting to have a straight A draft, but here we are. That is exactly how you want to start off a draft, Glory. We've had two fantastic drafts back to back. We're due for a bad draft now. Trulio was okay as well, but still, glad we didn't take him. What else we got here? Olivio was pretty good, and we scouted him out. He was definitely one of those guys I was looking at. He's got B potential only, but 62 at 19 is not bad. So there you go on Olivio. So it was an okay pick for the... Was he? Yeah, he was second overall. Oh, man. We actually, no, he was not that guy. Imasa, though, looks pretty meh. I scouted this guy out. Was he the guy I was looking at? No, I don't think so. The shortstop that went after him, I can't remember who it was. Oh, yeah, it was Norm Novak. Never mind. But Imasa was definitely a guy I was scouting out. He doesn't look that great. Like, our shortstop looks better than him, which is kind of funny. Derek Jude. That guy was the 5th pick, I think. He looks pretty good. Pretty good there for the Reds. Kevin Kyle was one guy I was scouting out. He was the last pick in the first round, I think. Not a high ceiling for him at all. So somehow we're getting lucky and making the right calls on our picks. And this guy was the first overall pick, and yeah, he's pretty solid. Solid pick there for the Pirates. 62 overall, 89 potential at 19. Damn. Only B potential though, but it could get up obviously to an A potential. What else we got here? Juan Fuentes. I don't think I looked at you at all. Yeah, I don't think a lot of these guys I looked at. But I am curious on some of these guys. Danny Flores, don't think I looked at you at all, but you're pretty solid. Anything else interesting? Herb Snow, what a name. And he goes to LA. Like literally there's going to be a guy playing in LA. And his last name's Snow, and LA doesn't get snow really, right? So, or they don't get it at all probably because it's too warm down there. It's funny. What else we got here? Any other names I was scouting out? Albert Rodriguez, not really that great. Glad I didn't take him. He's a relief pitcher. He could be a solid reliever, but he's not going to become anything huge. Roger Tomlinson, I was one of the guys I was looking at. 85 potential only, but 67 at 20. Still way less than I expected. So once again, we probably made a right call there. Anybody else? Brady Crow. Yeah, that's one of the guys I was looking at. 76 potential as well. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the guys that we were scouting out aren't that good, but we picked the right ones. I don't know how. Damn. I'm curious still on that one guy, though, that went afterwards. I probably missed him. Oh, Herschel Belanger was pretty good as a closer. He went before Dennis Lake. He has a pretty good potential. He's got a high overall as well, but he's already 21. That's the only problem with Herschel, but there he is, in case you guys were interested in Herschel Belanger. There you go. So there's one of the guys that I was looking to see. Oh, there's Jack Ryder, the guy I was mentioning in the last episode. He goes to Detroit. Nothing huge there, though. And there is Norm Novak. So he was the guy that went literally right after Sixto. We made the right call. Novak is only a 70 at 21, so not great. An 87 potential, but he's still going to be a beast for sure because of that power hitting. He's only got the B potential, so. And he's got good stealing, good speed. Yeah, this guy's going to be a pretty solid player, but is he going to be better than our outfielder? Probably not. Jay Chu is also pretty good. That was another closer I was looking at. Huh. Looks like a pretty solid draft for the Royals. So there you go on that front. There's Perkins, the injured guy. Houston. Yeah, see, you shouldn't have taken him. My scouts are right on that. That's why I didn't take Perkins. He was definitely the last on my list. Only a 67 potential. He's a 66 at 18. And he is also injured. He's got good contact hitting, so he might be an okay player, but yikes. At least it's Houston getting him. Makes up for those World Series wins that they had. Oh, Jimenez is pretty decent. He's got a higher overall than I thought, but a lower potential. I think that's what our scouts were saying as well. And there's our draft. Wow, I still can't believe it. How did we get straight A's in this draft? Like, we just got so lucky. We got so lucky. Like, if Belanger was still there when Lake went, I probably would have chosen Belanger just because we had him earlier on. But Dennis Lake is better than Belanger, and I am very happy about that. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Vancouver Rain Draft Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to simulating the rest of the season. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how the team obviously finishes off the year, how the prospects finish off the year that are still down there in AA. And then, yeah, very excited for what's to come throughout the offseason and setting up our team for next season again, because we're getting some really good prospects in, and we're definitely going to hopefully have like good drafts from here on out. But if we have a really bad draft, obviously that might set us back a little bit. But yeah, so far everything is going pretty damn good. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.